Hello viewers, Jan van der Stool here, international musical therapist, interpretive dancer, and now I've just done an online course as well in epidemiology. So welcome to the Coronavlogs with Van der Stool, episode 3. Firstly the news. Look, Peter and I, we watch the news every night. Peter, he's my husband and cousin. And I was very surprised to hear that after they'd always, announced the price of gold, which is so great, every Australian's always hanging off, the edge of their seat to hear that each night. They always are still ending with a sports bulletin, even though there's no sports, people are now just the people are just saying things like, tonight in the touch footy grand final, there was no touching and no footy. Over to you, Sonia Visaveda. They're not really saying that, but basically there's nothing to talk about. So they're talking about which club is going to be bailed out by the government and should they be and whatever. And look, I know you guys, we all love our sport, me too. I'm sports crazy, I'm always watching like Peter is always got the sport on his television. He's always saying, I'm off to watch the drag race, with the racing cars. Always RuPaul's Drag Race. Always watching that, and the Runaway, the Project Running, the running one, and the Queen, the Crown. Always. So, I understand that people love sport, no problem. But what about the arts? Why are they getting no mentions at the news, and no one's talking about who didn't get the funding from the Australia Council in this footy season, for example. And there's so many wonderful companies who didn't get any funding, like ATYP, Australian Theatre for Young People, such a great company. They have trained actors like Nicole Kidman and Rebel Wilson and Toni Collette. Two of those people are highly regarded, wonderfully talented movie stars. But, they're not in the news, And I know the politicians on Wednesday, they voted against extending the JobKeeper allowance for thousands of people who work in the arts. Yeah, and they did that. They voted, and then they get in their cars and they put on their music made by an artist, go home, walk in the door, admire their lovely paintings on the wall made by artists, have a bit of dinner, watch a show on Netflix made by artists. Who do they think makes those things? Or are they just so silly or out of touch that when they're watching, Neighbours or or whatever, they thinking that it's a long-running documentary about a bunch of neighbours who live in Ramsay Street and eat at Lassiter's. Honestly, without artists at the moment, the music, the dancing, the singing, the acting, the lovely comedy, the mime. Without these things, people would be going crazy at the moment in isolation. It would be like The Purge, which incidentally is a great movie made by artists. Anyway, how are you guys going? I had a lot of people emailing me this week, which was nice, telling me all about what you're doing in isolation. Could not believe the amount of people who were out buying ingredients and making sourdough starters. That's amazing. A very unusual amount of people were doing that. And it made me think, I really wonder how many of you ended up with a lovely, nice, pan rustic, hot loaf of sourdough at the end, or did you give up and end up not having showers and you're not wearing pants anymore? I do wonder about that, Suddenly in the pandemic you think you're going to become, Nigella bloody Lawson. Hilarious. And same as Bunnings, they've had a massive run in the last 9 days because everybody's out there suddenly thinking, I'm going to build that deck, You haven't done it for years, but now you suddenly think it's going to be the time. But it's not. You know, you all know that over Easter you're going to think about it, and then you're just going to put on your lovely eating pants with the elastic on them and you know, crack a beer, sit outside and crank up, you know, cold chisel. But you've got to have a tree. Anyway, this week I like to talk about baby boomers. Because nothing much has changed for you guys, has it? You're still bloody going out, aren't you? I mean, I went on a lovely bike ride the other day with Henk on the back to exercise my quaddies. And we went past a park with about 6 park benches. And on every single one of them was sitting a bunch of baby boomers with some lovely nibbles and a glass of wine. And I thought, what are you doing? We are doing this for you guys. You know, but it's like the baby boomers. They just think to themselves, oh, look, you know, unless a Nazi is going to drag me off this park bench and put me in a train to a concentration camp, I'm just going to sit with my 6 friends and have a lovely cask of Dr. Linden's Fluty Lexia. I mean, honestly, people are losing their jobs for you. Stay the beep at home. Now, as I mentioned before, I have just recently this week finished my Certificate 3 in online epidemiology. And so I learned all about the flu vaccines. Very important, guys, to be having a flu vaccine quick, smart. They've got them now at the chemist and everything at the doctors. So, you know, definitely important to have that, because it's not good if you get the flu and coronavirus. That's dangerous. But, of course, it's a dilemma, because to get it, you've got to go out. And we're not really supposed to go out unless we're going to Woolies, you know. So I had an idea. What I thought we could do is I was going to ask the government if they could get all the army snipers, because, you know, those guys aren't busy at the moment, and take them, put them up into the top sort of windows and 3rd story kind of floor of buildings around Woolworths with the flu shots in their rifles. And then as we are just lining up for Woolies, you know, we don't even know it's going to happen, so we're very relaxed, which is even better. And then poof, just in it comes, you know, flu vaccine, shoop, in your arm, and then you just go, whoa, okay, I got it. You know, look up to the 3rd story window and say, you know, thanks, Craig, good shot. There you go, 2 flies, 1 rock. You know, done. So go into Woolies, get your Easter eggs or whatever. So I thought, if you think that's a good idea, which I think it is, do write to your local member and support me in getting that idea up. And lastly, you know, in that online course, I learned a lot about germs and how long they stay on things. And did you know, guys, that you do have to get the Jif out at different times to wipe things, because depending on the surface, the germ lasts for different times. Like, for example, it lasts for 72 hours on metal. It lasts for 24 hours on cardboard. But only, interestingly, only 4 hours on copper art. So those of you who are fans of copper art, that's good news for you. But one thing I could not find was in my online course, or anywhere actually on the internet, was how long did the germs last on beeswax wraps. And this is important because, you know, since Greta Thunberg, oh gosh, remember her? Just so 2019, isn't it? You know, remember when we were all worried about being killed by the environment in 30 years? And now we're just worried about dying in our own phlegm on Tuesday. But I was... Yes, Greta Thunberg, of course, was telling us all about these, and of course now we've all got, 7 or 8 of these around the house that we use, and of course you can't clean them with hot water or with the soap scrub with your detergent and your scrubber, because as we know then you lose the beeswax and you've just got a flaccid piece of material, you know, an off-cut piece of material from Spotlight. So if anyone does know of that, how to get the germs, how long they live and how we can get them off the beeswax wraps, or indeed a bamboo toothbrush, please let me know, and then I can pass it on. So that's it for this week. If there's anything that you would like to know, of course, please give me an email or get in touch on the messages on the socials. You can find me at Jan van der Stool. And of course, you could also join the mailing list of the Coronavlogs by just hitting the button below this video which says receive updates, and then you go onto our mailing list. Stay safe, okay? Be kind. Stay at home. And if you like the Coronavlog, please share it like you did that TikTok video of that man dancing to the Andrew, Catherine, do video. That was funny.